Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my channel. Welcome back. I hope you've all been really well and happy. I have. Um, so today I just wanted to share with you my reflections on when a relationship ends, how to let go and how to move forward in your life. Always a tough one, isn't it? Like, no matter what the circumstances are that have contributed to that ending, it's extremely painful, of course, confusing. There's so many thoughts and feelings that go on, isn't there? You know, even if it's you that have actually ended it for whatever reason, even though you might not really want to have ended it, you really did want it to work, you know, there's still that side of it as well, you know. So there's all different reasons, and I'm just talking in general terms here. It's always extremely painful, whatever happens, whatever has happened between two people who have loved each other, who have spent whatever X amount of time together. It could be only a few months, it could be years, could have been married, could have been, you know, just partners living in your own places, whatever, it doesn't matter. The sad endings are always painful, aren't they? And you know, some people just don't know how to let go, and that's understandable, you know. It's completely understandable. I mean, you've loved that person and they have loved you, and you've shared time together, you've shared experiences together, you've shared love together in different ways. You've formed connection, attachment, a bond with them, and not only with them but with their family and friends too. And you know, and then does that mean that all has to fade away as well? There's different layers of sadness. It doesn't just affect the two people involved, it affects other people around them as well, you know, their loved ones too. People may feel nothing at the instigation of a separation, especially if they're the one who has instigated it. You know, they might have been just doing things and putting in effort to make it work, to work things out, and then, you know, they've just become drained and don't have the energy anymore to make it work. And it's not anyone's fault. There's two people that contribute to a relationship. Everyone brings their own selves into it, and that includes, you know, their own stuff that they carry, their own baggage, their own wounds, their own scars, their own formed beliefs and values and thoughts and feelings from what they've experienced previous to coming into that relationship with you. There's so many contributing factors to how a relationship works between two people, you know. And going back to what I said before, I digressed a little, sorry. Some people just might feel relief. Some people might feel nothing. They might just feel detached, shocked, angry, confusion, denial, anxious, physically sick, like physically feeling pain. And it could be none of those things, and it could be a whole combination of those things. Even if you don't feel anything at the beginning, like even if emotionally your brain is not processing any of those feelings as such, you're just like in a logical mindset about it. Oh well, this is the way that it is. Yep, that didn't work. We tried, so this is just the way it is. Let's move on. Even if you're the type of person that processes things in a logical way rather than an emotive way, it's still going to hit you, right? It's still going to hit you down the track. Even though right then and there, in the very beginning, you may not have all those feelings. It's still going to come, like you're only human after all. And everybody has feelings, regardless if you're more logical and, in your headspace than you are in your heart space and emotional. It's still going to be there. It's still going to come. So what do you do? Like, how do you let go? Like, when someone says it's final, what are you going to do? Are you going to fight? Are you going to fight hard? Or are you just going to accept that this is the way that it is? This is where we're at now. It's time to move forward. Like in the past, I'm a very emotional person, very much wear my heart on the sleeve, very expressive person. So for me, when a relationship has ended in the past, and that's, there's been different reasons why for each of them as well. But generally speaking, if it's something that I've really wanted to continue to grow, I have fought for it. I have laid all my cards on the table and expressed my deepest heartfelt feelings to that person and about that relationship, and expressed my desire and my willingness to continue to want to make the effort and to make it work. And during that time, I've also become very self-analytical and looked really deep within myself to discover what parts of me, what things I have said and done that have contributed to the demise of that relationship. And like everyone contributes, guys, like everyone, there's two people involved here. Two people, right? Unless, unfortunately, there is a third party involved, which would just be devastating. I've never experienced that before, but I know that it has happened to lots of people, and I can't even begin to imagine. It just would rip you into so many pieces. But taking away that third party aspect, there's two people that have contributed. They've got their own personality, their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own values, their own wounds, their own scars, their own baggage that they've brought into the relationship. So it's definitely a good time for self-analysis too. you know, so you can take ownership for yourself in that relationship. And you'd hope that the other person can look within themselves to find out what it is within them that has contributed to the decline in the relationship. But, you know, you don't know if they are going to do that or if they have done that. I guess it depends on the level of consciousness of that person, you know, if they're actually able to be self-aware enough to look within and understand themselves and understand how they could have caused discord and disharmony in that relationship. Because we all do it, guys, like seriously. No matter at what level of consciousness you are operating at, we all do this stuff. And I guess it's as you become more aware and more conscious and more mindful in your life that you will you will grow, and there will be less of that low energetic behavior going on and that low energetic way of thinking and feeling going on, you know, as you raise your vibration higher and your consciousness. There'll be less of the negative and so much more of the positive, right? So each person deals with the separation in their own different way, because everyone's individual, everyone's on their own journeys, everyone is who they are. You might feel like you need to lay all your cards on the table and say, look, yes, I know this has happened and this is where we're at, but I still love you, I still believe in you, I still believe in us. And you may want to just have complete clarity and understanding of this whole situation. I know for myself, like, if I don't feel clear in resolving something, or if I don't fully understand why something has happened, I really have struggled with it, which makes it then harder to let go of, you know. And if I'm not getting like clear communication back from that other person, not knowing what they're thinking and feeling, like it's been so hard for me in the past. But I think there comes a point in time that you just go, like, there's nothing that you can do. If someone doesn't want to be very forthgiving with you and communicate with you about why something has ended, or if they're not even like able to communicate that to you just because they find it hard to express themselves and communicate, well, you're gonna have to find a way to deal with that and cope with that regardless, you know. I think ultimately, and I think it's a very vital step, is acceptance that this has occurred between the both of you, regardless of what the circumstances are, regardless. If you can't truly accept that this is where you guys are at right now, you're going to struggle to move on and move forward in your life. You can't control other people. You can't force them to do the things that you want them to do. The only person you've ever got control of is your own self. So whatever they've said or done, or whatever they've not said or not done, you have to just find a way to accept that what is, and be at peace with that, you know? I think it's vitally important. And I think that once you actually truly accept that a relationship is over, it's really liberating, and it's a big release, and you'll be able to make that journey towards moving forward in your life, letting go and moving forward. And well, you know, it's like it's not easy. You've loved that person, they've loved you, you've shared beautiful experiences together, you've exposed yourself deeply to that person, you've been vulnerable with them. You know, they might know so many things about you that no one else knows, that you've never told anyone else before, and vice versa. And that's it, you know, that's a close connection, that's a bond there that you've formed. So, you know, it's not going to be easy. But in order for you to regain your strength and balance yourself and move forward, you have to find a way to let go. I believe letting go is, I guess, you know, there's different ways that you can do that. And I guess you have to figure out what works for you in order to truly let go of that person. Some people will say that, you know, well, I can't be a part of your life right now. I have to put distance between us. Physical distance, communication, like full stop, you know, full stop, nothing. And I think that's a really good idea. I really do, because if you're trying to let go of someone but they're still around in your life, how can you heal? How can you heal your heart? How can you get your thoughts back in focus? It'd be very, very difficult. So I think that a period of separation is very, very important. I mean, of no contact, I should say. And, you know, some people down the track, they can be friends and can continue their relationship just on a friendship level only. And I think that's wonderful and definitely achievable. I know there are some people who just cannot be friends with an ex-partner, but there are some people who are and can and do, and I do think that it is achievable. Getting back to letting go, focus on yourself, bring your focus to your own self and into your own life. And do the things that make you feel happy and that fill you up and that bring you joy. Whatever those things are. Do things that keep you mindful in the present moment. That's really powerful, you know, living in the present moment. And you can bring yourself into the present moment anytime. All you have to do is just be aware of what's happening right now. When you look back into the past is in the past for a start. It doesn't even exist anymore, and you can't change anything. And all back there, when you think back to about, this happened and that happened and this person said this and they did this, like, it's just going to evoke within you all those feelings that you're working on letting go of. It's going to evoke all your, all the grief and sadness and anger and pain and regret. It's going to evoke all those feelings. And that is going to hinder your process of moving forward and letting go. So don't look back in the past. It's not to say that looking back in the past is a bad thing. But if you're going to look back in the past, then think about all the good things. Think about all the positive things. Not the bad. Well, I shouldn't say bad, but not the things that are going to make you feel the emotions which you're trying to heal from. And if you do look back and you do feel those feelings, that's fine and that's healthy too. Just let yourself feel them, whatever they are, and release them. Whether you have to go and bawl your eyes out, or go punch a pillow, or punch a punching bag, or go do some physical exercise to get it out of your system, or write it down, or whatever, just release it in a healthy way. And looking forward into the future, well, the future's unknown, and the future doesn't even exist anyway. Like, all there ever is right here and right now. So my point is just to stay in the present moment with your life and your focus and your awareness. I find like a good method for me to let go is to write all my feelings down. Write everything down, absolutely everything, and then just burn it, burn the piece of paper in the sink, and then just wash all the ashes down into the sink. It's a real a release and a really wonderful way of cleansing things from myself. Or you could do it through music or meditation, talking to a trusted family member or a trusted friend, as well. That's always really helpful too, especially if you are a big communicator. And don't go beating yourself up about things, because that's not going to help you if you beat yourself up and for the things you didn't do or did do, or say or didn't say. What's happened. And it's not to say that you can't apologize to the person. I think that's a very healing thing, to apologize to someone. It's healing for them and it's healing for you as well. But moving forward, just bring your focus back to yourself. And there's so much beauty in the world. There's so much beauty within each of us. There's so many good things to focus on and to be grateful for. So they're the places that you need to go to move forward. No matter what that other person's doing, you know. Even if they are already seeing someone else, you know, which, you know, that does happen in some cases. Like, you know, you might find out not long after you've separated that that person is already seeing someone else, or maybe they even started seeing someone or communicating with someone before you even separated and you didn't even know until after the fact. Or it might have been only until after the fact that you found out about it. Wow. Even if that's happened, just send that person love. Send that person thoughts and feelings of love and well-being. And that might not be easy, especially at the beginning, and especially if they have already moved on with someone else very quickly. But the best thing you can do for yourself is to fill yourself up with love and send that person love. Because if you think about that person and your thoughts and feelings are just like rage filled and full of anger and sorrow and sadness, like, all, you know, very like low vibrational energetic feelings and thoughts, you're going to keep yourself stuck and hinder yourself from moving forward and letting go. You know, honor that relationship, honor that person for what they have offered you, for what they have shared with you in life and in love. We all learn and grow from each other, regardless of what's happened in the relationship. We all do learn and grow from each other. And some of that growth has come through extremely painful situations. But, you know, growth can be painful. It can be. But it also helps you to understand yourself more and understand your ways of thinking and feeling and being in life and in love and in relationship. It helps you to understand yourself better. It helps you to let go of things which no longer serve you, which you know that are not healthy for you. So yeah, although separation can be extremely painful, it is also helping you to grow and to learn. So in saying that, I honestly do believe that that relationship and that person do need to be honoured, and to feel grateful for that relationship and that person, because it helps to define you more as a person. So, and the more that you let go and the more that you move forward, and you will, even if it's very difficult in the beginning, you will continue to let go and move forward. Time passes, and the pain becomes less and less, and time passes, and the want or the need to want to be with that person or connect with them or communicate with them becomes less and less. And you just breathe, and you just continue to let go, and you continue to heal, and you continue to balance yourself. And you'll still think about them. You'll still think about them, of course you will. And if you truly did love that person, then those loving feelings aren't just going to go away. And for me, the few relationships that I have had, I have genuinely loved that person regardless of what's happened. And I do value my relationships and the people in my life. And I'm a lover of love, so I still do love all the people that I have been in a relationship with. Some of them aren't a part of my life anymore, and some of them are. It's just dependent on the situation and the connection between that person and myself. And time is a big healer. And you never know, you never know. In time, you may have the chance to actually reconcile with that person. And that can be either as just a friendship only, which is wonderful. I mean, if that's a positive connection, that's going to be a good thing to be able to continue eventually to share a friendship. And in some cases, people actually do reconcile and share an intimate relationship with each other again, which is wonderful too, if that can happen. Obviously, if that's going to happen, I believe that both parties have had to do a lot of self-reflection and a lot of inner work, a lot of growth will have had to occur within each of those people. In understanding themselves and understanding how they operate in relationships, and what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses, and how they can operate with that same person again in a relationship to create a much more positive and balanced relationship with that person, and successful relationship with that person. It can be done, and it has happened plenty of times, And I think that's wonderful if people can do that, but both people have to be willing and wanting to do that, to share that with each other again. Not just one person. And I think talking about that, I think it's key to mention that one person might be letting go, moving on, but still be in their mind and in their heart hopeful for a reconnection with that person, hopeful that other person will reach out to them, will communicate with them, will say, let's give it another go. Let's talk about this. Let's make it work. This is too important to give up on. I think it's okay to have hope in your heart and mind, but not to cling on to that hope. Like clinging on to something is just saying, is putting out there the energy of, I don't have this thing is lacking in my life, so I'm going to hope that this thing happens. And it's not going to help you to heal. It's going to keep you in a state of limbo from moving forward and healing. And I'm not saying hope is a bad thing. I'm really not. I mean, you can hope for something. You can believe in something. But don't cling to it. Just like leave it there where it is and let it go. Just keep moving forward. Moving forward is important for growth and healing and balance within your own self and in your own life. If that makes sense. I hope, I'm not trying to be negative about being hopeful for something to work out, or for reconciliation or anything. I'm really not trying to be hopeful. I'm just trying to say, for your own emotional and mental and physical health and well-being, you can keep that belief there. That hope there in your heart. But just keep moving forward. And, if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't happen, then that's okay too. Because you'll just keep moving forward. You won't be clinging to that. And eventually you'll be in a really good place again. You'll be more in alignment with yourself and your wants. Well, your wants, your desires, the things you want from life and love. You'll be more aligned with all of that in your life. Your energy, your vibration will be more positive, will be higher. And when you're open and ready for it, then you will attract someone else into your life. Whether it's that person again, or whether it's with a different person. New opportunities are there all the time for us. We've just got to put in the work. We've got to set our intentions and make the effort day by day. I really feel that when you are in alignment with the things that you want in your life, then you're only gonna attract positive and wonderful things into your life. You're going to attract abundance and prosperity and success. So keep believing in that. If anything else, just keep believing in yourself. Focus on yourself. Life is beautiful. Every one of us is beautiful. Regardless of our scars, regardless of our wounds, regardless of our behaviors and our ways of thinking and acting, we're all beautiful. We really are all just pure pure energy.